All right, today I'm going to talk about your hip height in the deadlift. How high should it be? How low should it be? All that stuff. A lot of people think they need to squat the weight off the floor. A lot of people think they have to do a really exaggerated hinge, and it's all going to depend on your body structure for you to find that correct answer. Number one, you should not be getting your upper thighs parallel to the floor like in a squat. I would say for most people, that is very, very wrong. Your hips are just going to shoot back up, so you're going to be getting deep into this position for no reason, and it's going to give you no benefit. What I would suggest you do if you want to squat down and pick up the bar like that, film yourself, find out where the bar leaves the floor, where your hips are when you are squatting down and your hips shoot back up. Try and remember that position where your hips are, and that is actually where your hips should be, because your body's actually placing yourself in that position, but you've just wasted a whole bunch of energy trying to squat it off the floor. When you squat it off the floor, people do this to take the emphasis off their low back. There's nothing wrong with using your lower back to lift weights, but there's something wrong with using only your lower back to lift weights. So people try and put more of the tension on their quads and take it off the lower back, but the deadlift is not a quad exercise. Essentially, the way I like to put it when you're deadlifting is you're leg pressing it off the floor, and then once it gets off the floor, you're essentially doing a Romanian deadlift. So you need full body tension for big deadlifts. Your core has to be braced, your upper back needs to be tight, but not shoulders retracted. That's a big mistake. Your arms need to be tight. Your hamstring, everything needs to be tight. You need full body tension. And what makes this different than any other compound lift is you're starting from a dead stop. So think about benching off pins or squatting off pins. You need to go from no tension to 100% tension. So the tighter you can get and the more tension you can create with your body and brace yourself, the stronger your deadlift's going to be. So getting your hip in the optimal position and then getting tight and then pulling is going to create a stronger deadlift. So you don't want your hips to be super high, but you don't want them to be super low. So just because I said don't squat it off the floor doesn't mean now you have to do a stiff leg deadlift with your upper body parallel to the floor and you're using basically all back and hamstrings. Like I said, leg press off the floor, Romanian deadlift the rest of the way. Now what's very important is to pull the slack out of the bar. This means to get your chest up and you're trying to bend the bar in the middle. Put 135 on the bar and try getting the slack off the bar. Try to only lift the bar off the floor by getting your chest up. Then do this with heavy weight and you'll notice the weight will not leave the floor as it did with 135, but you will see a bend in the bar. That's when you know you're ready to pull. It doesn't seem like a lot, but the slack could contribute to you missing a deadlift and making it harder versus you breaking it off the floor easy and getting higher weight and more reps. So in conclusion, you need to find the optimal hip height for your deadlift. Don't squat it off the floor. Don't stiff leg the bar. Pull the slack out of the bar. And remember, leg press, then Romanian deadlift.